himself about things.
As if we just said a funny joke.
I haven't done anything right. Right? Or was it like before you got it? He was just like looking at his camera, looking at me, just chuckling to himself. He couldn't even make his mind up what was making him laugh. He didn't even know.
He's just happy.
He's just happy. Yeah, happy to be
chess
talking
tournament
to us.
coming up after a few months off. He's got to be happy.
This is true.
Yeah.
Chess coming up. It's Thursday night. What more could I want?
This is true. Well, welcome everybody to the Welsh Chess Chat. Obviously, we were back last week. We missed it. I was playing in the tournament and just, I think we just forgot, to be honest, didn't we, guys? I was meant to be doing it, but I was just too tired from my tournament that I was also playing in, but also organising. But great to be back now with Alex and Johan. And we'll see if anybody freezes tonight, guys. So hopefully we'll keep all three of you today. But yeah, there's actually quite a lot going on. Obviously, I've played in the tournament. We'll have a look at the Welsh calendar, the Welsh ratings. Alice has requested to have a look at the FIDE ratings as well, which is quite interesting. We had a question come in from a listener about our own training, weekly training plans. They were quoting that it's 18 hours a week. But of course, with us being professionals, naturally we'd be doing significantly more than that. So I think they might be a bit surprised by our response. But we'll have a look through all those things. We've also got Glorny Gilbert, Stokes and Evans Cup coming up starting tomorrow. So we can have a look at some of the teams there. I'm commenting on the Manchester tournament tomorrow as well over the weekend. And a couple more things as well, I'm sure. The World Cup's gone on. We all played in Title Tuesday, which was great. In fact, we might as well just start with hello, Alex. And how was your couple of weeks exploits in the chess world?
Hello. Exploits in the chess world. I played one Title Tuesday evening. That's about it. But it went okay. I didn't have to withdraw or rage quit, so I always take that as a success. So I got 5 out of 11.
Who's got the motorbike going past?
I think that must be me. We do get some boy races around here.
Yeah, I get it too, actually, as well. So it's quite interesting. So you got 5, Alex, in Title Tuesday.
Hey, Alex, you were on 4.5 out of 7, weren't you? Is that right?
I was on 4 out of 7, and wheels fell off. I played a bit rubbish. Some of the opponents kept up their game, but yeah, it's not too bad. But then actually, on last night I played the Chess Club Summer Program. Yeah, and I did almost better in Title Tuesday than I did against people from the club.
Oh, wow.
So Untitled Wednesday.
Yeah, you two did like ridiculously well in that Title Tuesday, and like I think I was just I was so tired. Maybe I don't know what my excuse was. I didn't realize I was tired until I was playing, but wow, that was bad. And then you two were just beating GMs and stuff, and I was like losing to untitled people that had snuck in or something.
Well, I think it's a bit weird though. I mean, like a lot of my wins at the start, I wasn't doing well. Like they were trying to beat me, and then I was just like, oh, okay, I'm winning a piece, and then easily closing it out. Like you'll even see in this win that I'll show later on as well. That I got a little fortunate, but my player was actually quite good. My intuition was quite good before that, but I put it down to luck. But I think the biggest thing that I took from it was you got all these national masters and candidate masters that are like rated 25, 50, 2600s on chess.com.
There's something up there.
I don't understand how they got such high ratings. You know,
there's something up there, really. Like I don't really know how, but there's something weird going on, like with them having those ratings. But I think I was just thinking about this afterwards, right? Because when I play Title Tuesday, I often get like games where they're 98% accurate or something like that, you know. And I know the accuracy thing isn't super accurate, right? But it gives you some sort of indication that it's a pretty good game if you get 98%. And I've had so many games, like, you know, more than 5 games, maybe 10 games where I've had 98% accuracy and not won in Title Tuesday. And it's like, it's pretty crazy that, like, if you get 98% accuracy in a classical game, then, you know, you'd expect to win. Like, to have it in a 3-minute game is like, so then I was thinking about that, and it sort of depends on what kind of positions and openings you get, right, as well. So, like, there's a lot of lines in my repertoire that, yeah, maybe you are more likely to get 98% accuracy. And I was thinking, like, you do particularly well, it seems, in Title Tuesday, John. And I think you kind of thrive on chaos, right? Like, I think, you know, this tournament you just played, your positions are just nuts all the time. And I think that actually, like, lends itself quite well to 3-minute chess. So I don't know, maybe that's because I was watching that game where you that guy was cheeky trying to beat you on time, and I thought, like, how are you moving so fast? Like, it was pretty, you know, pieces are all over the place, but you're just sort of used to it. Maybe, I don't know.
I mean, if chaos was what was on my board, like even in my over the board tournament, that was not the plan at all. Something's gone wrong.
You know, I think the problem with 3-minute chess is that the position gets chaotic at some point, and you need to handle it. You know, essentially, like, you can play fantastic chess, outplay your opponent, but whenever you convert your good positional play into a material advantage or something, then the position tends to get messy. And, you know, if you're not used to that, then you just drop a piece, and it doesn't really matter how good at chess you are. If you just drop one piece during the game, it's, you know. So I don't know. I was just trying to...
Yeah, no, I think I know what you mean. I don't know if Alex can come in on this, because I think he's pretty good at playing really fast. So he can maybe kind of like cement my thinking here. But basically, I completely changed the way that I treat the game when it's a 3-minute game. So, like, I don't try and think or think too hard deliberately. I just go on intuition. So what that means is that there's one game which I won, but I actually just missed a very simple fork, like a pawn hit in 2 pieces. It was ridiculously simple. Something that you'd normally see if you give me 5 seconds, I see it coming. But I played into it because I wasn't necessarily thinking, you know, oh, there's a fork coming. I was just thinking, must go forward, must attack, put my opponent under pressure, must get my pieces as active as possible. That's all that was going through my head. And I've actually got on my phone, I've got it here, actually. I can show you. This is my phone. I'll put it in front of the camera so people can see. I've got a little pen thing.
That's the other thing. I said it during the tournament, but I was like, how on earth are you playing so fast, like on a phone? That was insane.
Well, I mean, it wasn't intentionally. Normally, I see myself as quite a slow player and not able to move fast.
But I've played Title Tuesday on my phone before, and I've lost on time, like, a lot. You know, because when you get down to, I don't know, 20 seconds, 10 seconds, you just can't move fast enough. But yeah, I don't know. Your phone must be amazing.
Well, I've seen him on his phone with the thing. When we were in the pub before, he was doing Puzzle Rush on his thing with the pen, and he was doing it quicker than I do it on my laptop with a mouse.
Oh, like, yeah. Puzzle Rush on your phone's faster because it's a smaller screen and stuff as well.
Okay, that makes sense. So I guess maybe he's just done this so much on his phone that now he's beating title players.
Has he beaten your record on Puzzle Rush yet?
Of course he hasn't. He can't do tactics, can he?
What is
your record, John?
What's my record? Oh, I'll tell you what. Let's share my screen then. Well, we'll probably have to start noting this. This is the game that I was going to show in a second, but I'll go on to my stats, and maybe people in the chat as well can share what they are. We can maybe kind of like collate what it is for Wales, because I know that people were having a look at that. I don't even know how to get to stats, to be honest. Okay, so let's have a look. So Puzzle Rush, I was quite happy. I beat it by 1 the other day. I've got it up to 34. But what time is that, though?
3 minutes, I assume.
Why is it not letting me click on it?
I think the default.
Let's just go this way. Right, top score.
Yeah, 40 on that one, yeah.
So 34 on 3 minutes and 40 on 5 minutes. That's my top scores. So maybe we should collate this and basically see who's got the top scores in Wales. But I'm pretty sure if I go onto like friends and stuff, I'm pretty sure that this guy here, where's he gone? Chess, isn't that Dan Kozizek? He's like ridiculously high. And I'm sure if you can click fast on it, then and you can learn them, then I think your quid's in, to be honest. But we'll come back to chess.com though, guys. I think we're getting too into it. Let's make sure we stick to the structure of the Welsh Chess Chats. It's very important. And we'll go back to the Welsh Chess Union website, as we always should do. And actually, guys, there's quite a lot on this latest news section, which is really quite interesting. And we'll look at the calendar specifically and to start off with, because these are all these things are on the calendar, which is great. So let's just click on that. I think maybe, hopefully it's just loading up. Please load. Now that I've clicked on it. There we go. There it is. Note, dates and venues may change.
That's new.
Yeah, I don't know if I saw that before. So where are we? We're in August, aren't we? Is it August? Yeah, it is. Okay, so we've got the Glorny Gilbert International Tournament in, I think it's in Stirling, starting tomorrow, which is great. We'll have a look at some of the players in that and wish the Welsh players the best of luck. And some Morriston stuff. But yeah, Newport Congress. Johan, any chance of you entering?
I think it's looking less likely now, actually. But I still would like to. But I think some stuff has come up.
Well, let's just have a cheeky look at the entrance. Who's popped in at
seeds.
number 3?
Oh, it's Alex. It's Alex.
Hasn't he?
Wow.
Yeah, I thought John had some chance of winning, so I thought we need to just make sure between myself, Peter Varley, the others, that we stop him from doing that.
Yeah.
But
you've got to take some of those rating points off him too.
True.
What do you mean, the rating points that I just lost in the last few games of my own tournament? Yeah, I mean, I've got a buy in round 1. Unfortunately, I can't go down too early on Friday because, I would need somebody to look after my dog. So I have to go down late. So I'm going to be taking the buy. So it gives these guys a good chance still, which I guess makes it fair, doesn't it? Which is
it just means you get a few easy rounds, doesn't it? No?
Well, I mean, I don't think there's any easy rounds. More to risk, I think. But then Real's coming up a couple of weeks after that. That should be. I'm hoping to play in that and just travel on the Saturday and take a bye Friday night again. The UK Blitz Championship Welsh qualifier. It's on the 30th of September, guys. You two should, especially you, Alex. You should be eyeing that up. Are you away?
No, I'll be around for that. I've played it in the past a bit. And sorry, you're right to mute yourself, John.
Sorry?
Are you right to mute yourself?
Yes.
Nice one. I've played the Blitz Championship before, and they hold it in Cardiff. People like Marcus Harvey used to come, and a load of the Bristol people. So I think Jose did qualify last year, but usually the Welsh players don't get the slots. But I think now it's in Bridgend. It's quite a trek for anyone not in Wales to come. So I feel like Welsh players should be able to get through.
Yeah. So what's that for? What are you qualifying for? UK Blitz Championship?
Yes, there's 8 qualifiers, and the top 2 go through from each. So there's like a 16-round all play all final.
And what? Six round?
So the final is like 16-player all play all.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
So you from like the Midlands, Amit Ghazi usually goes and qualifies, and you get like GMs going to all of them.
Yeah.
And the Cardiff and the Belfast ones usually are quite weak in comparison.
Right.
But it's like something nice to kind of fight for, to play, to actually qualify. Even if you come last in the final, if you reach it, you still get some kind of prize, I think.
What's the time limit?
It's 3+2.
Oh, wow, that's pretty good. 3+2. Oh, that's like fast, isn't it?
So the qualifiers 15 rounds, and the best I've ever done in one of the years, I got 11.5 out of 15. I tied with Greg. He beat me on tiebreak because Marcus Harvey won it, and so I missed out on tiebreak that year. I think that's the only time I've played it. But I like it. I think it's a good event. And
Yeah.
I mean, I assume people like Daniel, Jose, Greg will all play, so it should be still competitive. So I think it's good because, like, if it's competitive but still mostly Welsh players would be ideal.
Just a quick question in the chat: is there going to be any Glawny commentary? No, there won't be. I'm commenting on the Manchester Open this weekend, but also I don't even know if the Glawny Gilbert is going to be live boards, so no idea on that. But isn't this a new tournament that wasn't on there before?
Yes, I believe it was on the calendar, but it hasn't gone live. There's no site for interesting. So I got an email from Kevin Staveley with all this in, which I signed up to at some tournament before. They took email addresses, and it had links to all these websites for all the tournaments. And he said this one's now gone live. So even though the info is quite a long way below that tournament, I think you can actually click it and see who's entered. Okay, I mean, maybe no one has entered, but yeah. Yeah, but it's live anyway. I mean, I don't think I'll play that one, but yeah.
Maybe after winning the Newport one, you'll fancy.
Well, I'll be in Magaluf for that one. So.
Magaluf, is that a chess tournament or is that a holiday?
It's my favorite tournament.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've played it 3 times before, and it's great. The game's at 8 p.m. every day, and it's awesome. Like,
wow, that's a weird time.
It is weird. So you kind of have to adjust your sleeping pattern a bit. But it's really nice because you've got the day and it's still basically summer there, even in October. So it's really, really nice. And then it gets to 8, which is like when it's not so nice outside, and you just head off and play a bit of chess.
Oh, wow.
And all the young people are hungover and all the old people are tired. So it's like...
I'd love to go back because it was my first Olympiad was in Magaluf. It'll just bring back some memories. That was really good.
Oh, wow.
It was such a good Olympiad. Yeah, it was a really good place for it to be. But yeah, it was good memories. They gathered. What was cool was I've still got the photo. They gathered all the people that were under 16 because obviously it's Olympiad. There's not that many people under 16 to get a photo. So I've got a photo with me and all the other people that were like, every single person apart from me is famous in that photo now. I'm like next to Magnus Carlsen and like, because he was, I don't know, 13 playing for Norway and, everyone else is like super famous because they're all prodigies. And then it was just me.
Yeah, I mean, it's you were talking about the Welsh Chess Congresses here, and here we are talking about going to Magaluf to play in the chess tournament. Great advertising, guys.
Well, it sounds like Johan's in, John. So
I know. Sounds like
I'm in for Magaluf. Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like you're going to pull out a Newport. You're both going off to Spain, some island somewhere, just having a great time, and I'm going to be stuck playing here. Sounds like that's what's going to be happening. I'm going to be in Rill. Well, that all happens. But okay, yeah. I mean, it looks like there's quite a lot of tournaments coming up as well, which is really good. And obviously, I mean, there was this West Wales one that I saw before in November as well, but I think that's too far for me. I don't know if I'll get down for the one in October, just with it being like kind of middle of the school work for me because we're running lots of after-school chess clubs. But obviously, we'll see how things go. Quick look at the ratings, and I think the only major change, which really is something that I don't really want to look at, which is right here.
Have you gone down? Have you? Oh, 15 points. Oh, Alex will be catching you now after the Newport Congress.
Oh, I don't know about that. He's not. He's still miles away. Oh, is he in the same? Oh, he's in the same. I thought I might have to scroll down for you, Alex. But actually, no, I don't.
I'm not an elite player, mate. I'm the like.
It's only 75 points. That's 75. You could couple of wins, losses, etc.
Well, I mean, you say that, Johan, but I mean, surely you should be pretty scared then as well, because that's only 25, 26 points.
Yeah.
Oh, Yeah, I've got some new software here, so it looks like it's updating itself and stuff. So I'll have to have a little play around with it, especially with this weekend with commentating. Yeah, okay, not much is on here. Tim did really well in the tournament, so he gained a lot of points. I was a bit surprised actually to be so low. So if you actually click on me, so FIDE wise from this tournament, I actually gained 1 point.
Okay.
FIDE rating wise. At least when it's updated. But here it looks like I've lost obviously about 7 points or something like that from this tournament, or roughly. If I started at 23-21 and I ended at 23-14, I lost 7 points. But FIDE rise, I actually gained 1 point.
That's the important one, isn't it? So
well, I mean, not really. I mean, I could have been gaining 40 to be honest, if a few things had gone my way.
Oh yeah.
So
I think your openings were like you better out of every single game. It was a bit like me in my tournament, right? But just wildly better positions, right? I mean, every opening went so well.
Yeah, it did. I mean, I've got the individual results here. I lost the last game in case people are wondering. Maybe I should zoom in here a little bit so people can see. So this is my own tournament that I actually just ran myself. So I got Matthew Carr to come and arbit it, hired out a venue, and invited all these people to come play against me in a big all-play all. And it was great, to be honest. I got 9 more FIDE-rated games. I'm a better chess player because I played those games, which is what I wanted. I kind of realized that with being the second highest-rated player. At the start, when I invited everybody, I would have been the top highest-rated player, so I knew that I was on a hiding to nothing for losing rating. But then after the start I had win, draw, win, I was gaining quite a lot of rating. And then this was the key game here, the game against Roger Williamson, because I had a good opening yet again, but I was really feeling tired at this point. It was on the day last Friday when we had a bit of a mini heat wave here. And I was going to the toilet to splash water on my face. And I thought, should I offer him a draw like on move 10? This is what I was thinking. I should probably offer a draw here. I'm not very well. I should definitely go and do this. And I thought, no, must play on. I've paid money to play chess. I want to come here, want to win. I don't know. And I still don't know if I've made the right decision there, guys. And I don't know. I wonder what your opinions would be on that.
I think you made the right decision to play on.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I think it's really easy to look back and be like, oh, well, because I lost the game, I should have taken a draw. But you could be having the same conversation having taken the draw and be like, oh, why didn't I play that game on? So, I mean, it can be annoying, but I feel like really the only time to take quick draws is when you're securing some kind of tournament wins or big prize. And I think otherwise, no justification, especially not in like round 5 or anything.
Yeah, but Lecco was talking about, because he coaches Vincent Kamer, and he's obviously commentating on the World Cup, and he was talking about Vincent like when he was like really, really ill with the flu and stuff, and playing white against someone, and still went out and fought, and then got absolutely caned, but he was like proud of him for doing that. And I thought, more respect to Lecco, because I reckon he'd be the kind of person that would have just taken the draw. But he was like, I think it shows the kids these days, they want to fight even when they've got the flu and things. So you just learn from each game then, don't you?
Yeah, and okay. Well, that makes me feel better about playing on, guys. So thanks for that. But yeah, you're right though, Johan. I was better in every single opening. In fact, ridiculously so. Maybe the only one that was close was the game against Jacob, when he did go slightly wrong though, even out of that opening as well. So yeah, but with big advantages, I should really be scoring more points. But that just means basically that I'm really bad at chess, which is something that you came to the same conclusion as, Johan, only a few weeks ago.
I think that actually the positions you didn't. I think you got good positions out of the openings in the early games, right? But they were quite chaotic. And then when you got really good positions, but they were quite stable positions, then you didn't do so well. But also you were quite tired, so there's sort of different variables, I guess. But I just think if you get a really good position that's super chaotic, then you sort of, I don't know, you seem to play like a machine. And then that's what I thought when I was looking at the games anyway.
Yeah, I guess we could probably demonstrate some of this actually to some of the viewers here. So, for example, a chaotic game, I think you're probably referring to my round 2 win against Tom Brown, which is...
I think that was only sort of chaotic. I suppose you worked it all out before knight c5, right? I assume.
Yeah, of course, yeah. I mean, so we had a simple King's Indian here, and e5 is the main move here in this position for people watching. But I didn't really want to allow the exchange variation because I'm trying to win as black, and therefore decide to go this way. And I thought, why not play knight g4? This looks like fun. And actually, I've even analysed this with the computer, but playing it from the white side. And I kind of know that this is okay for white. So even though it looks a bit weird what he's done, it is still fine. And yeah, he was very happy to get knight g5 in here. But then, yeah, before I go knight c5, I kind of worked out that I had that after b4, I've now got this really weird move e4.
But given that, though, I assume you should have had to work it out even before f5 or it's prep, because actually he takes and if knight g5 can't be answered by knight c5, then
no, not at all. I mean, I kind of saw that I had something there, or I went on intuition that in this position here with b4, from when looking at it from afar, I thought b4 doesn't look right. There must be something for me, so I kind of trusted a little bit of intuition there. And then obviously before I played knight c5, I went e4.
That's
and then
such a nice move, yeah.
And then e3 is the main idea, with the queen hitting the knight, the bishop tied down to defending this knight. And yeah, I mean, it can go so wrong for him right here. It's crazy. I mean, there's even lines where like he tries to do knight takes h7 to kind of bail out, or something crazy like this. And I do something like queen h4 or something crazy, because he can't even go g3 because it's even checkmate.
Ooh, wow.
So it's like it's just like you could very easily just lose on the spot here as white if you're not careful. But I guess this is kind of a little bit crazy from what you're talking about. Although my game against Jacob Boswell in round 3 was also even more crazy, I'm guessing. Yeah, this one here. I mean, this is a game that I could have won, but I easily could have lost this game. And again, we get a King's Indian, and yeah, this is all theory, and then taking on f3 here is just a little weird.
But because this was dead equal, isn't it? I didn't realize it was all theory. I didn't know why you'd go down this line if it was.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I'm just trying out different lines. It's not a case of.
So at this point, you're still in book?
No.
Okay.
A couple moves before I'm in book, so he should taken on f3 is a little bit. I thought he had big problems here, and c5 just maybe a little bit too quick. I don't think I need to do it, but now it starts to get really hairy. And this is the chaos that possibly you're talking about. I trap my own bishop in, as you do.
I've seen a lot of games recently where someone traps their own bishop in and it never ends well, it seems.
No, isn't that what Anna Muzychuk did yesterday?
I remember in the first round of the GM tournament that the Portuguese guy did it against Jack, and that bishop never returned.
Yeah, and it's but I should imagine that what you're talking about, maybe the more stable position, is if I go to maybe round 6.
There was
round 7.
Queen's Gambit declined, right? And that I was like, oh, this is the kind of position I want. Like, just give me this position.
Yeah, well, that's what I was thinking as well. I was thinking exactly the same.
This is just a dream position for me. Like, it's a much better version of what I get in a lot of lines. This here.
I was loving it as well. I was thinking this is perfect. I know that he's not meant to take on b4 and c5. I've got a weakness on this c6 pawn to aim at. This should be great for me. But then for some reason, I started to get really worried about this break, and just couldn't quite manage to get enough of an advantage against the c6 pawn. Do you know what I missed actually in this line? So here, rook e8's a bit sloppy because queen a8 does actually pin the bishop to the rook. But he goes queen b7 here, and I think this was one of the key moments actually. And it's really key because I have to make a decision here. If I swap queens, it better be winning.
Yeah.
And I couldn't calculate it to a win. We even analysed it after the game, and we couldn't calculate it to a win. But actually, swapping queens wins, which is really weird.
I know you're keen to swap rooks, but queens, but still, I don't think you need to calculate it to a win. This is just horrible for black.
Well, you say that, but f6 and e5 is coming in. So I saw a line with I don't even know now. Was it knight a4, f6, knight b6, maybe takes, rook takes, bishop d7. Or actually, no, it was something different here. How did the line go? I'm trying to remember. Some weird thing where he went f6 and e5, and I had to take on d5 or something and win the piece back with a bishop b5. Craziness. It was really complicated when I was analysing it with the computer. And maybe I should have done this, and this was the best way to play for the win. But yeah, I retreated, didn't I, in the end, and then we just had a draw. So
but you're massively better in this position.
Yeah, but it's still not easy to win it though. You got to put it over the line, and I didn't find the best moves. I mean, it actually got quite interesting this game did though, because when you start moving the pieces around, like even here, it's really on a knife edge about whether this square is weak or not. And I get a 5 in, which I thought was a really good thing. And then it's like, who's actually winning here? And it's huge. It's like he plays knight d7. I'm just like, what do I even do? And
you know me, I would have been chucking my H pawn, not that G pawn. I think the G pawn was the wrong one to push.
You reckon? Back here?
You just need to put your pawn on H5. Stops him doing anything.
We move this knight out the way.
Yeah, it's something around.
As soon as that knight moves, that pawn comes here.
I don't know. It feels like you're losing control either way, right? Like once his light squared bishop gets active, I feel like.
Yeah, how did his bishop get that far around? Yeah. He's had a lot of time by now, though, hasn't he? So I don't know. Yeah, I guess with the knight on f8, that bishop could have maybe gone to f1 and h3 instead, potentially as well. Don't know.
Yeah, I think it was just a lack of a really clear plan. So, one of my other plans was to actually just get this knight somewhere good quickly. So maybe just knight a2, knight b4.
I'd be putting on b6 right away.
Yeah, either b6 or b4 I think is really good. But it's just a case of when it gets there, actually, is it actually going to do anything? And I think I got torn between some different plans here and couldn't actually figure out what was actually going to be best. And it's one of those games we both said to each other afterwards, I wish that we maybe had an extra half an hour at move 40 to keep playing on the position. That's pretty much the only reason the draw was agreed, was because we were both low on time and it looked like a really equal position. But yeah, you're right. The openings did go really well for me in all these games. But unfortunately not good enough, I'm afraid, at the moment, and only gaining 1 rating point, but could have potentially gained a lot more there, which would have been good. But it was great to play the games, though, to be honest, and great to run my own tournament as well. But okay, the ratings, not much of an update. Who's made the biggest gain so far? Anybody else played? Louise Davies, we mentioned her before. Arush played in the British, so he's doing really well. It looks like Dale and Jack Hannigan are also some big gainers as well, which is great to see.
Tim's right up there.
Yeah, he is. Well, he had a great
37.
tournament, actually, didn't he? He had a great tournament. He had a terrible start. Look
Bad
at this.
start, wasn't it? Yeah.
2 losses, and then he went win, 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 draw, win, win.
Wow.
And I think he drew with Tom quickly in the last round.
Wow. He had some. I think he had a few end games where, people donated the win at the end. When he was drawn. There's some funny ones.
Yeah, that happened. I think that happened a few times.
There was some funny, interesting, instructive rook end games.
I guess we're kind of getting to that stage now where we're starting to kind of home in on next year's Olympiad selection, and that's possibly why, Alex, you wanted to have a look at the FIDE ratings.
Well, doesn't do me any help, does it?
I've lost more points than I thought.
So Johan's the top of the tree for us at 22.89. I'm next at 21.97.
Oh, wow.
So I think I'm going up a point. And Alex is at 21.28. And Tim's just gained, 40 points or something like that? So he'll be breathing down your neck, Alex, at the moment.
No, he'll be above me.
Yeah, possibly.
Is he at the British seniors? Awesome.
Did you have a good British as well, did he?
Yeah, because he beat Arkle, didn't he? So even though he faded, he still gained quite a lot of rating, I think, from that event.
Right, okay.
20 or something? So I guess it would be like 21.40 odd. So.
Well, it's going to be close, whatever happens. Johan, would you go to the Olympiad? Are you in the running for it?
When is it?
September 24.
Yeah, I think more than likely not, but I think I probably can't make it, but yeah, we'll see. I don't know.
Well, I guess
I'd have to come back to Wales and play a lot of the stuff as well. I am quite keen on playing the Welsh maybe this year, but so I guess that's what people do, don't they, when they need to play the Olympiad, want to play the Olympiad.
Just turn up for the Welsh and that's it. Yeah, that's the standard way to get in the Olympiad team. Yeah, but I guess we're going to have to move on to kind of like our weekly kind of coaching, training schedules that we do. We had an email in asking us how much do us professionals do for our weekly training, and this person quoted that I think they were doing 18 hours of study a week themselves, and they're a decent player themselves. And they go around playing regularly as well. And I just wondered if how many more hours than 18 do you two guys do?
A week.
At the moment, it's not. It also depends what you count, right? Because I think actually playing some blitz online doesn't count because it's playing chess, but it's not really making you any better. So. If you count the blitz and stuff I play, it's probably quite a lot. But actual training to make me better at chess is very little, probably. I'm just very disorganized and I'm doing stuff that isn't making me any better.
I think we need a number of you, Johan.
Oh, if it's a number in terms of how much I'm doing that actually makes me any better, it's a couple of hours. But if it's how much chess am I looking at every week, it's a lot.
Okay, but I would count watching the commentary on the World Cup counts in my.
Oh man, that means that I'm doing 6 hours a day then.
but it does, right? Because you're learning stuff from it. I agree about playing blitz, but
vaguely.
You might learn stuff from it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's quite interesting because there's a lot of these kind of passive things that you do, like watching commentary. And you also mentioned there about playing blitz is not helping your chess, but I found that my Title Tuesday games, actually, I thought that they were actually quite useful in helping me.
I think it depends how much you play, though, right? Because if you're just playing Title Tuesday and you're just playing a little bit here and there, but if you're just playing lots of blitz and you're tired and you, I don't know, had some wine and you're not really looking up your games afterwards and you're not really learning, you need to be actually actively learning from those games instead of just playing them and throwing your mic across the room, not mic or whatever, mouse across the room and I don't do that.
I'm sure we'll see some dents in that room in the future, I guess. But I guess you've got to have something to lose, haven't you? Like when you play. So if you're playing Blitz online and you don't care about losing, you're just not really bothered. Then you're not actually actively really trying to win. But I guess because we're all competing against each other now on Title Tuesday, and also in wanting to do well and wanting each other to do well, it's kind of like a thing that's forcing you to play some good chess at least, and go back over the games and see what happens. I must admit, when I read that somebody was doing 18 hours of study a day, I thought they're doing about 3 times as much as what I could possibly do on a normal week. For actual proper study, apart from playing blitz games and going over them, if you take that out of the equation and even listening to the World Cup, I feel like I've not done it as much as I should have done. I played in the tournament last week, so this week I've really had it off, just resting. But in a normal week, I probably, if I get 6 hours done, I'd be very, very happy of chess. And that's probably a combination of going through some calculation books that I've got, maybe analysing some of my openings and working on my opening lines. So, for example, my French winnower that I've been looking at over the past month or so. And that's a lot of opening work, I should imagine, going into that, and maybe touching on some end games perhaps. But 6 hours a week is what I consider a good week. I wish it could be more, but life gets in the way, I'm afraid. I don't think I can do much more than that. What about you, Alex? Because you haven't got a life, or no?
Well, I think it's what I was going to say is that I think if you see the people who go to Olympiads and represent their countries, most of them will do much more than we do. But it doesn't pay to be a chess player, right? So obviously working full time, it's mostly a case of like motivation to study. But I feel like now I'm at a stage whereby I certainly historically have done more chess study in a week than I do now. Probably now I'm maybe between 3 and 5 hours a week. But I feel like in that 3 to 5 hours, the quality of the study is a lot better than it was.
Yeah.
Because I now know what I need to do. So one example is I watch quite a few videos on chess.com. And there's literally thousands of videos on there. And you could watch, say, 3 hours. Well, okay, for example, you could watch 10 hours of videos on chess.com, but some of them are terrible. If it's by Carlsen, Mamedyarov, they're like the worst videos, right? Because they're really lazy. Magnus doesn't want to prepare to do a video, right? So he just goes through a game. He often like messes up the move order and then goes back. And you might learn one thing, but they're not very instructive. Whereas, so you could watch 10 hours of videos by him and maybe get almost nothing out of it. Or you could watch 3 videos by someone like Roman Edward, I think is very good, like Dejan Boyshkov, and they're lesser players and they do videos that I think are like really, really useful. So yeah, I think it's the more you study, the more you can work out like what works for you, which people do videos that maybe you learn from. And then you can say, well, I do 3 times less work than maybe I did historically, but to be a better player. So it's that, and then tactics. Like this is my thing now when I'm supposed to be working. If I'm like having free time between meetings, I get straight on chess.com and just do some. So
I did a lot of tactics before my tournament, and I was hoping it would work out better than it did. I do think there was something like just up with me recently though. Like I couldn't play blitz even. Like couldn't do like nothing. Like I seem to have shaken it off like this week. So I don't know, but yeah, I don't know. It didn't translate to what I was hoping, doing as much tactics as I did.
But I imagine we'll actually catch up with you later, because I realized when I put loads of effort into chess, like I did it before the Olympiad last year, and then I played okay at the Olympiad, but nothing special. Yeah. And then it got to January, and between January and March, I played like an absolute machine. And I didn't do any chess study like after the Olympiad. I just didn't play for a couple of months, then did no work. But it was like a knock-on effect, and I think sometimes it does take all that time to actually catch up with you. So maybe in half a year when the FNCL season kicks in.
Hope so. I was going to say though, like what I mean, there was a lot of negatives, but I suppose the positives that I took from my tournament, like was that the work that I had a plan of what work I wanted to get through before the tournament, and I didn't find the time to get through it all. But the work that I did do was like insanely effective. Like my end games were like ridiculously good. Like, and I did manage to do the end games that I wanted to get through, and ridiculously, a lot of the stuff I looked at came up. So I had quite a few tough ones that were useful, and then the openings were really good. It's just I can't play chess in between, so that was the big problem. My openings were insanely good. My end games were really good. If somebody could just fill in the middle, I would have got a GM norm.
Yeah, that's. I think that's the same for all of us sometimes. I mean, it's. I mean, we've got a question in chat about like how many games do we play per week, and I don't really think that I look at it per week, and that's why I've just filtered on how many games have been played. The top players actually so far since the 1st of July, June, 1st of July this is, and I'm up to 18 games already, which is actually loads. I would never normally be up to 18 games by this point. The only reason why it's so high is because I've just had the South Wales International and my own tournament, which I put on deliberately to get 9 extra games. Now, normally I wouldn't have those 9 extra games. I've got the Newport coming up, which will be another 4 games. But then apart from potentially a 4NCL weekend, which is only 2, and I'm even stepping back from my local league to not play as much because it's only against 1900s, then I might only go up to, let's say, plan games. If I get to 30 games by Christmas, I will be doing very well. And if you want to work out how many weeks there are in 6 months, what's it, 6 times 4, 24. So what, 1 to 2? But they're all kind of condensed, though. I've just had 18 games in the space of a few weeks. Do I cram it all in the summer because I'm working in schools? I don't know. Do you two guys like try and target your time of when you play?
Well, I think as you can see from the fact I'm currently on 0 games, but I'll probably end up being, as usual, one of the most active players. It kind of says it all, right? Like in the summer, I mean, I've said this a million times, like in the summer, the chess, like working full time, you have 0 chance to play chess, right? Because they don't put on weekend tournaments, which I think is just madness because the amount of people who play would be ridiculously high. But then, when the league starts, it's like, pretty handy for me, and I think because I'm a member of Cardiff Chess Club, like the options to play are pretty huge. Like if I want a game any week, I could probably have 1, maybe 2. So there's good opportunity.
I think I used to, when I was a kid, average like 2 or 3 games a week maybe, but now I'm going to be not playing much at all. I think I need to somehow work out a routine to play more games because you just it's just impossible to replicate it at home, isn't it? A real game. It's just really hard to replicate it.
I think because I always have this issue of I need to stay quite warm. Like if I have a break of not playing, I always really struggle. So now, obviously, I haven't played since the end of May. So I think with my tournament just over a week's time, I'm almost going to try and use the first couple of rounds to play myself in because I've tried playing 10-minute games on League Chess, which is still not practice for long play. And I even get bored just playing a 10-minute game on that.
Yeah.
I'll like play the opening. I'll be like, I've got 7 minutes left. And suddenly I'll be like on YouTube. I'll be like, oh, let me check my email. And it just like, it just doesn't translate. I can't be at the game in doing that. So.
Oh, we lost John, did we? I mean, I agree with that. You can't replicate an actual tournament game. It's just so difficult to do that. Even playing like an online 45-minute game against somebody that you know is still not quite the same thing as putting your rating on the line, sitting opposite somebody, having preparation for a game, and then actually playing the game over 3 hours. It's just not the same thing. And I also mentioned in the chat about if we teach chess. I don't think, Alex, you teach chess, actually, do you? You don't do any teaching?
No, not totally. So I have historically done some, like I was Welsh junior coach for some time. Like when I was at uni, I did it for a bit of pocket money. But I'm at the stage now where I think if someone approached me, maybe I would take on a student or 2. but don't actively seek out because I do enjoy my evenings, just the precious free time.
Yes. My evenings are gone to coaching, but when you're coaching somebody though, you're not necessarily always getting yourself better at chess because you're looking at variations and lines that are maybe to not as much detail as what we would need them at a higher level, and it's also openings that we might not even play on a regular basis, so it wouldn't be the same thing, and it takes up quite a lot of time actually. So I wouldn't count that as actually doing chess. Although I'm in front of a chessboard sometimes, so it's a positive thing as well. And it's always good to hear other people's opinions. But okay, yeah. So what? 6 hours for me, or how many hours a week for you, Alex?
I'd say between 3 and 5. It depends again on the week, and again, if I have something coming up that maybe I feel like I want to put more effort in for, I might do more. But yeah, not standard.
But yeah, well, let's move on to Title Tuesday because I had a really good time on Title Tuesday. I started off with not being able to join the tournament, so therefore,
so that means you were on 5 out of 7. But I forgot you missed the first round. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. I don't know how it happened. I mean, I'll show you the first game that I won if you want. I mean, what's this first one? Which one's the first one here? August the 15th. There we go. Yeah. So I won this game. But it was pure fluke. It's like I was saying, I didn't play well at all here. I just defended well, and then he messed it up. So I just very quickly show it to you. So, okay, we get some, here, and Alex will be happy here that I messed up a Regazin and played E3, and then he goes knight in, I go H5. I'm like, oh no, what am I doing? This is
it's nasty. This opening though, isn't it?
It's nasty, isn't it? And it's because I'm playing too fast because I know about it, but I just don't see it. So I actually allow this to happen. But okay, come on now, let's go into super defense mode, and I win this game.
Oh wow!
I don't deserve to win this game.
2600.
2600. He's got advantage on the board, advantage on the clock. He's only an FM though, or she. Completely getting destroyed still. And then I thought, go on then, take on E3, I dare you. So I moved my rook over. Please take on E3, and they did.
What?
And so after I take care, I piece up harder because he can't take the knight.
Maybe this is where I'm going wrong, like just doing cheeky things like that. Maybe. But,
it wasn't planned.
Yeah,
and it's basically one after this because it's actually mate on A5. Queen takes A5 and rook E8 mate is the problem. And I think you were marveling at how quickly I could actually move pieces. I think I just got lucky that checkmate was quite close. But this is a win against, I think the world number 30, female world number 30. And I want to show you the opening because it was a Benoni. And knight H5 has actually been played against me before by Matthew Wadsworth. So I kind of knew to do this bishop thing and then to stick this bishop back here. And here I'm on my own. And I just thought, I'll just take off some pieces. And then this is what I'm talking about, intuition. So bishop F3 is a natural move, but now F5 is played. And what intuitively do you want to play here?
E5.
Yeah, but you know that it loses a pawn.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, so you just play it anyway. You don't really think too much. So, okay, I did actually think for 15 seconds by the looks of things. I thought, let's go for it. Let's just see what happens. I thought, okay, well, the rook's quite good. Let's swap off the most active piece. And I thought, okay, what move do I want to play here? Intuitively.
I wouldn't massively have been thinking. I would calculate D6, but I wouldn't intuitively play it. Rook D1.
Rook D1, yeah.
Oh, but I suppose D6. The knight covers E8, isn't it? So.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those things where a few seconds later play D6 just because I want to get a piece into that D5 square. Open up the diagonal for my bishop. I've got the kind of backup plan of just winning the 2 pawns back, perhaps. But actually, I missed here that when I play Queen E5, can you see the winning idea for me? And I'll give you a couple of minutes to try and have a look at this because it's really interesting, actually. I only analysed this today. And the winning idea is, it was quite nice, I thought.
This is my problem. In a game, I'd have played knight d5 already. Like, I just can't be asked. But
you've also got to see the reason why a certain move is also good as well. So, like here, it feels like there's a firm way of winning the game, and seeing it, I think, is quite important. I didn't see it, but
okay. Is it queen h4?
I'd be thinking about trying to get a rook to d8, but I think queen h4, you've got kind of bishop e6, haven't you?
Yeah, but you're kind of on the right line, guys, already, which is really good. But I completely missed all of this. I'm going to show you because I don't want to.
I suppose knight d5, queen a5. Oh no,
knight d5. With the idea being that, let's suppose they just do nothing. You actually then go check, then take this pawn, check, and then go queen h4 check, and rook d8 comes next. Which I just thought, that's beautiful. Sacking the knight on g6 to get queen h4 check in, and then rook d8. I completely missed this idea. And apparently the best move is just bishop e6 when knight c7 is just crushing anyway. So it was just winning to play knight d5, but I completely missed this knight e7 takes g6 idea.
I think I would, like Alex, I would have just played knight d5 just out without, because...
Yeah. Well, that's the problem, because this is the bit where I fought for nearly 29 seconds there and played the move that I wanted to play was knight d5. But I thought and played the move that wasn't my intuition. And then I ended up taking the 2 pawns back, and then she started to outplay me in the end game and get the king forward. But then I got lucky again. Takes this pawn, I get lucky here. I just got really lucky in the tournament, and then I move my knight away, and then she puts in this check, which is a mistake because now the rook has to move, and then I give this check, take here, take, and give check again. So that when I take the rook, it's check.
Oh, right. Okay.
So it's like I just get pretty spawny.
Still 6 seconds to finish this off on your phone is like, I would not be doing that.
Well, I mean, I didn't really. All I wanted to do was put a pawn on b6, the knight on d5, and just wait for her to take my knight to try and hope that I keep.
Yeah, but on your phone, you did that in 1.5 seconds. Like, that's incredible. Oh no, I suppose you get a +1 every.
You can pre-move, but the danger here is she's going to take my knight at some point and then try and come back. So I had to be alert to that. And okay,
pre-move, yeah. I know you can pre-move, yeah.
Yeah, that was quite easy. But yeah, I got a little fortunate, to be honest, guys.
So who was it?
Ilya Osmak.
Olympian winner as well in Chennai, didn't they? Ukraine won gold.
Okay.
Yeah, gold medalist winner then.
Yeah, because it was the Musichuks won gold and their teammates. So
right, okay. So yeah, nice little scalp. But yeah, I just got a little lucky, to be honest, more so than anything. Gary, we're not politicians. We're not going to be talking about what's
stay away from that
BBC
topic.
website recently. So just to let people have a look at the Glorny team. This is who we've got. Bence, Joel, Daniel, Oliver, and Milo. Good luck, guys. But looks like the England team, the Ireland
Are they brothers?
team.
Joel and Daniel?
yes, I think so.
Are they?
Yeah.
Looks like they're going to be the lowest rated out of the bunch, as per usual, I guess.
Wow, that's nuts. Like what the ratings are now.
I mean, I don't. This England team, though, I thought England could obviously put out a much stronger team than this. They've got there's even some of my Staffordshire players here that are higher rated than, unless that's FIDE, but.
Yeah, but the England pick their team in a weird way, don't they? So it's like the best go to World Youth, then the next best go to Europeans, and Glorny's like 5th or 6th, so it's like their 5th or 6th team. So they don't just set all their best.
But I do want to know about this selection though, because I've got players here in Staffordshire that haven't got any of those things that would do quite well in that, actually. Maybe they're just not as active as what some of these players are, to be honest. But I've never heard of some of these names, actually. This Caleb, Chavez, and Ronit. Never seen them before.
What's an AFM?
Alex?
It's Arena FIDE Master.
Right.
You know how Rudy's like Arena Grandmaster?
Right.
So it's like on the FIDE website, I think you can pay to play Blitz on there as opposed to on chess.com or Lichess.
Okay.
And then if you do so well, they give you subtitles.
Ah, okay, right.
Presumably pay for.
Okay.
Yeah, there's another AFM in there. This is the Welsh team. So we've got Emma, Kushi, and Ashika. Hopefully they have a good time up there, and I think they've got chances of getting some points there, actually. The Gilbert team.
I agree. You look at the England B and the Scottish teams, they should fancy their chances there.
Yeah, so there's no Irish team now, which is quite surprising, considering I thought Ireland would be quite strong, but maybe they just couldn't get people to come over for it. And this is I don't even know what the Robinson actually is in the Stokes. What's the age limit on these things?
Under 14s, Robinson. Stokes under 12, I want to say.
Because back in our day, when they didn't exist, did they?
No.
So we've got Tom, Yaroslav, Ethan, Christian, Vismith, and Roberts. Good luck, guys. They are. I don't think they're actually that far away rating-wise, actually, either. Maybe at the top they will be, but 1900.
Is Freddie not playing then for Scotland?
Well, I mean, to be honest, I even saw a Scottish lad playing in Manchester this weekend. Is it Rishi Vijaya Kumar? So he's basically said he's not going to play in this event. He's going to play in the adult tournament over the weekend. Perhaps maybe because it's not strong enough for him, perhaps. But you think though, to be honest, if you're playing for Scotland and you're a junior, unless you're 2300 or 2250 like Freddie is, then which you can understand he wouldn't want to play in this. But Rishi's not that high yet, so he's missing out.
But okay, Rishi's what, like 2000, yeah?
I don't know.
So if he goes, he plays two 1700s and a 1500, and he has to pay them twice. Like, that's horrible.
Yeah, I guess so.
Gain rating, and you're not going to get 6 out of 6 because they're not bad players. So.
Yeah, and in the Robinson, is this? This is the Robinson? No, Stokes, sorry. The previous one was Robinson. We've got Farouk, Arush, Canal, Lucas, Louise, and Adam. And lots of unrated players here, apart from the England team, who have got 1600s, apart from 1500s, apart from on the bottom board. So, what are your bets on who's going to win most of these sections?
England should be favourites for most, isn't it? So all of this is happening up in Scotland, then, is it? All at the same time? Oh, that's a good thing, right? Because like these trips were like so social, and they sort of, those kind of things were just brilliant. They just get people like motivated to do well enough to go back next year and all of that. So that's really good for everyone involved. Yeah,
and I just hope that there's quite a lot of competition for places in the future. It's kind of like I think from what I could hear, perhaps, is that maybe struggling to find bodies to fill in a spot sometimes, as opposed to people fighting for the spaces. And I know in our day it was people who were fighting for the spaces. Yeah, and I want to make sure that that should be happening on every single year. So hopefully, as you start to get back into the swing of things, people will really cherish going to this tournament and give it their all and really jump at the chance, because it's a great event as well, like you said, really social as well. How many times did you play in it, Alex?
Twice. Played when it was in Wales, pretty terrible, zero social, and I played when England hosted it, and it was in Daventry, which. My first ever time in Daventry, which I've now been to probably about 20 times. So I didn't do it.
Me and Johan had a much better time, I think, than going forward playing it as well. But okay, guys, we're over time. Thank you very much, both of you, Alex and Johan, for joining me. Thanks very much, everybody, for watching. Please click on follow on the channel and make sure you here next week, and we'll see what's going on. If you're following the Manchester tournament, I'll be doing commentary on it on the ECF_streaming channel on Twitch. That starts tomorrow night, and then 2 games Saturday, 2 games Sunday. So I think I might have to miss the Women's World Cup final to do chess streaming, which is going to be really annoying. Maybe I'll have it on in the background so I can just keep flicking over perhaps. But yeah, apart from that, everybody, thank you very much for watching, and speak to you next week. Bye-bye.
Thanks, bye.